Why we're living in an us versus them world. Watch till the end to find out the three main causes and a solution to this problem. We feel it in our communities, see it in our news feeds, and sometimes even experience it within our own families. A growing sense of distance, of separation. It often feels like we're living in different worlds, even when we're neighbors. This growing chasm isn't just a feeling. It's a measurable reality shaping our society. Understanding this divide is the first step toward bridging it. It's crucial to look deeply at the forces pulling us apart before we commit to a side. In this video, we'll explore 3 powerful reasons behind our increasing polarization, examine other contributing factors, and then, most importantly, discuss a practical, powerful solution to start healing the divide. Our first reason is one of the most pervasive forces of the 21st century: information silos. In theory, the internet connected us all, promising a global village with access to infinite perspectives. In practice, however, it has enabled the creation of highly personalized, invisible walls. We now live inside what are often called filter bubbles or echo chambers. These are digital spaces where the information we receive is carefully curated, not by us, but for us. The algorithms that power our social media feeds, search engines, and news aggregators are designed with a primary goal: to keep us engaged. They learn what we like, what we click on, and what we share. Then, they show us more of the same. If you click on a headline with a particular political leaning, the algorithm registers that preference and serves you similar content. Over time, this creates a feedback loop. Your feed becomes a mirror, reflecting your own beliefs back at you, but with increasing intensity. The system learns that more extreme or emotionally charged content generates more engagement, so it prioritizes those voices. As a result, moderate, nuanced perspectives get pushed to the margins. They become quieter, less visible, and eventually, they can seem to disappear entirely. This isn't a neutral act of content delivery. It's an active shaping of our reality. We begin to believe that our perspective is the dominant one, that everyone thinks the way we do. And when we encounter someone from a different information silo, their views can seem not just wrong, but bizarre and incomprehensible. How could they possibly believe that when all the information we see points in the opposite direction? These digital walls don't just separate us, they distort our perception of each other, making common ground feel like a distant, unreachable territory. The second major driver of our division is the intensification of identity polarization. It's human nature to seek belonging, to be part of a tribe. Historically, our identities were forged through family, locality, faith, or profession. Today, increasingly, our political and social beliefs have become central to who we are. They are no longer just a set of opinions. They are badges of identity, declarations of which side we are on. When beliefs transform into these tribal markers, the nature of disagreement changes profoundly. A challenge to our ideas is no longer just a difference of opinion. It feels like a personal attack, an assault on our tribe and our very sense of self. This makes healthy debate nearly impossible. The goal shifts from understanding or persuasion to defending the group and defeating the opponent. In this environment, compromise is seen as weakness, and changing one's mind is perceived as betrayal. This us versus them mentality is reinforced everywhere, from political rhetoric that paints opponents as enemies to media narratives that frame every issue as a zero-sum battle between two irreconcilable camps. We are encouraged to define ourselves not just by what we stand for, but by who we stand against. This dynamic creates powerful emotional incentives to stay within our ideological camps. Stepping outside the group consensus risks social exclusion, while demonstrating loyalty, often by expressing outrage at the other side, is rewarded with validation and a stronger sense of belonging. The result is a society where conversations become battlefields, and the space for curiosity, empathy, and genuine intellectual exchange shrinks with each passing day. Disagreement, once a cornerstone of a healthy democracy, now feels like a declaration of war. The third critical reason for our growing division is more tangible, rooted in the physical world: economic and geographic separation. We are increasingly sorting ourselves into communities of people who live, work, and earn like we do. This isn't necessarily a conscious choice to self-segregate, but the result of powerful economic forces. Housing costs cluster people by income. The nature of modern work creates hubs of industry in certain cities, while other regions face economic decline. This big sort, as it's been called, means that our daily lived experiences are becoming dramatically different from those of our fellow citizens. Someone living in a dense urban core, reliant on public transit and working in the tech sector, has a fundamentally different daily reality than someone in a rural area working in agriculture or a suburban family navigating school districts and long car commutes. When we don't share physical spaces, we stop sharing common experiences. The local park, the community center, the public library, these traditional melting pots where people from all walks of life would naturally interact, are either used less or become homogeneous themselves. We stop having those small, casual, everyday encounters with people who are different from us. This lack of contact has a profound effect on our psychology. Empathy is not an abstract virtue, it is built on understanding. And it's incredibly difficult to understand or empathize with another person's life when you never see it, never hear about their daily struggles and triumphs, and never have to navigate their world. Without that shared experience, we rely on the caricatures and stereotypes fed to us by our respective information silos. The other becomes an abstraction, a political position to be opposed, rather than a fellow human being with a complex life, valid concerns, and a legitimate perspective shaped by their own unique circumstances. Beyond these three pillars of division, other factors accelerate our fragmentation. The modern media landscape, for instance, operates on an attention economy. Outrage is profitable. Balanced, nuanced reporting is often less shareable and less engaging than sensationalism. This creates a commercial incentive for news outlets, especially on cable and online, to amplify conflict and frame every issue as a crisis. Then there is the deliberate spread of misinformation and disinformation. Malicious actors, both foreign and domestic, exploit our divisions by injecting false narratives into our information ecosystems. They know that a polarized society is a vulnerable one, and they use social media's algorithmic power to sow chaos, erode trust in institutions, and turn citizens against one another. On a more personal level, we are also facing what some have called an epidemic of loneliness. Despite our digital connectivity, rates of social isolation are rising. We have fewer close friends, participate in fewer community groups, and feel less connected to our neighbors. This social fragmentation makes us more susceptible to the lure of online tribes. When we lack a strong sense of belonging in our real-world communities, the validation and camaraderie of a digital echo chamber can become incredibly powerful, providing a substitute for genuine human connection, while simultaneously deepening our ideological isolation. These forces, media incentives, disinformation, and social loneliness, act as accelerants, pouring fuel on the fires of division started by our information silos, identity politics, and geographic sorting. So, what can be done? The problem is complex, and there are no miracle cures. But there is a powerful, practical, and profoundly human starting point: structured listening. This isn't just about being quiet while someone else talks. It's a disciplined practice of creating intentional spaces for genuine dialogue. The core idea is simple: bring small, diverse groups of people together to share their personal experiences and perspectives on a contentious issue, but do so with a clear set of rules designed to foster understanding, not debate. The first rule is paramount: no interruptions. Each person is given a set amount of time to speak from their own experience, and everyone else's only job is to listen. Not to plan their rebuttal, not to fact-check, but to simply hear what is being said. The second rule is to speak personally. Instead of making grand abstract statements about politics or society, participants are encouraged to talk about their own lives, their own stories, their own feelings. This shifts the conversation from a battle of ideologies to a sharing of human experiences. The third rule is to foster curiosity. After everyone has spoken, The format encourages questions, but only questions of clarification and understanding. Could you tell me more about why that experience was so important to you? Is a good question. How can you possibly believe that when the facts say otherwise? Is not. The goal is not to win an argument, but to understand why the other person sees the world the way they do. These conversations happen in neutral spaces: a library meeting room, a community center, even a workplace cafeteria after hours. They are guided by a trained facilitator who ensures the rules are followed and the environment remains safe and respectful for everyone. This process is transformative. When you listen to someone's personal story about why they fear economic instability, or why they feel disrespected by society, or what their hopes are for their children's future, the political labels begin to fade. You start to see the person behind the position. Empathy, which was impossible from a distance, begins to grow. You may not end up agreeing with them, and that's not the goal. The goal is to de-escalate contempt and replace caricature with complexity. It's about rehumanizing the other side. So, what can you do? Start small. Seek out organizations that facilitate these kinds of dialogues. In your own life, practice the principles of structured listening. When a friend or family member expresses a view you disagree with, resist the urge to immediately argue. Instead, get curious. Ask them to tell you more about the life experiences that led them to that belief. Listen to understand. The path back from division is not easy, but it is possible. It begins not with winning the next argument, but with having a different kind of conversation. It begins with the simple, radical act of listening.